What's good? All right, so today we're just gonna go over the Avatar Fire and Ash real quick. My thoughts and my personal opinions about the movie. I tried to stay away from like reading online reviews, but it was kind of hard because there was like a lot of up and down, back and forth about people who loved the movie, which is crazy because I think when I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes, it came across as like a 60. I think it was like 60 something critic score, but then like the audience score was like in the 90s, which was crazy. So like people really enjoyed it. The critics said stuff like um the way they did it and the places that they visited seemed like familiar. I didn't get the feel of like that. I didn't get that feel. It did feel safe at times. Like they didn't it felt like they didn't take risks with the movies. It gave me a feel of like they tried to copy like keeping certain characters alive, right? So let's just start off. So of course they're mourning because the son in the what was the second one died. So they're still in mourning. There's like that mourning process. And I can see the way that they uh, stop right here. Spoiler warnings ahead. So if you have not seen the movie and you do not want to be um spoiled by this review, just quit watching. But if you have, or if you just want to know what's going to happen, then this is for you. So they they're all mourning, right? The wife is like coming to terms with like the fact that Spider is still amongst them. Her son died, but Spider didn't die. So um she has like this strong hatred towards like the human race. She calls them like the pink what she call them, pink skywalkers, pink skins. And Jake is like trying to get it through her head, like you can't just go around hating people because it creates this like this cycle of like hatred and you know bloodshed begets more bloodshed. But also at the same time, he's dealing with losing his son, and he's taking it really hard. So he's taking it out on the youngest son because he feels like it's his fault, but he's doing it without saying it. So he's like going really hard on him, right? And then it also deals with Kiri. So the most forgotten kid is Toot. Like she's just there in the movie, right? But Kiri, like the one who has this connection with Awa, it dives in and it goes very very in depth of her connection with Awa, and you'll find out towards the end of the movie as far as like she's basically like uh, almost a child of Awa. Like so, like the actual planet itself pretty much recopied her avatar body, and she's a one-to-one clone. So you get there and you figure out that because she's half part human, she has a firewall that blocks her from talking to Awa, even though Awa is the reason why she exists. It's crazy shit, right? And then it ends up being that like she has to have multiple people jack in with her to carry the load of like connecting to Awa. But because she comes from Awa herself, she can tap in and do all types of crazy shit with the planet. But yeah, so I felt the movie, the timing and the transitions of everything, how everything happened was really smooth. I like the pacing and the flow of the movie. It was good also to see like they didn't continue with like the same villain. So and he's a very complex character, right? Because when it comes to Spider, Colonel, like he's a complex villain. He's a complex character because like his kid lives with the Navi. He loves his kid, but he also at times will use his kid to get what he wants to better himself as like a soldier, like in the ranks and shit. And he does at any cost he's gonna get the mission done. So he's a very complex character, and being that like he goes out on the limb multiple times to save Spider, but then directly after he does an action that contradicts him saving Spider, right? So the movie just has so many ups and downs emotionally, and it very a lot of action in the movie. It's a long movie. That's the one thing I would say. It's like 3 hours or something. But it's like there's a lot of action. There's like it's a roller coaster of emotions as well, right? You got multiple people feeling different things. And of course, Avatar has always been like a very spiritual movie, right? Because they're spiritual people, and that's what the movie's based upon. Like they're fighting for their land because they're so connected to their land. They cannot fight. They cannot not fight for their land, right? And then it went so once it introduces the what they call them the skyjackers, the tribe that worships the fire. She has a speech. The chief has a speech about how they prayed for help from Awa and she didn't answer. So now they have renounced the faith of of Awa being an all mother, and they pray to fire. I don't know if it's a fire god or goddess or whatever, but they pray to like the burning flame. So it just gets real in depth, and it's like it's some plot twists in there. Like with the colonel, he ends up mating with like the new villain chick. He's like that. They're partners now. You know what I mean? Um, I think like it was really good. They brought back PyCon, the whale, um, and then at the end of this, they finally you get to see Awa. Like in a dream state, you get to see her. So she's just basically like a huge like Navi looking. I don't know the exact name for the creatures on that planet, but she's like a she's a big Navi looking thing. But you only get to see the side of her face, pretty much. Like she's like in the middle of the planet, like subconsciously, because you got to understand the whole planet is linked on a cellular level. Every plant, every animal, every creature, they're all linked together on a cellular level, right? So if you jack in, you can like connect to like anything. And also the evil Navi lady has an ability where if she jacks into you, she can like give you like a bad subconscious or like bad like put stuff in your head or something. It's a trippy movie when they start when you get into it. Now it does get a slow at a couple points where you're gonna have like a couple like make sure you get some sleep before you go because it has a couple slow points where you're gonna like you might fall asleep if you fresh off work or something. So just don't go after like work. Make sure you go on to like your downtime, you chilling, you just off day or something like that because it's like 3 hours and like 15 minutes, right? But I like the movie overall. I cannot give it a low score. I know I'm very generous because I'm a huge movie fan. So I'm extremely hard on movies, but then I'm extremely easygoing because some movies aren't meant to fill certain roles. I think Avatar is just a huge franchise that's meant to be a huge franchise, right? I don't think it's like it's surface level deep. It's not supposed to be like in um an extremely deep film that like mentally challenges you. I think it's just like it gives you a simple problem, and then for every problem in the film, it gives you solutions. So and like I said, back to the whole plot, like so Jake is fighting with his own things. He knows that like war is coming, but he's like tired of fighting and killing. But he know he has to keep fighting and killing. So like then you get Spider. Spider ends up becoming a fucking damn near full fledged one of them because like they save his life by like introducing him to the planet itself, and the planet pretty much takes him over on a cellular level. So then like the humans get a hold of that information, right? So like now they like if we can take what happened to him and replicate it and make humans breathe on this planet, it's way easier to get us out here to terraform the planet so we can get the resources that we want. So Spider's the key to this whole thing, right? So I think it's worth a watch. Like I said, if you ain't got nothing to do, you got a few extra dollars, it's worth a watch. Me personally, I'm gonna give it like I'll give it a because they got some tearjerker moments. They got some moments like oh shit, like this, and then they got some moments like what the fuck. I'm gonna give it like a I'm gonna give it a strong 8.7. I'm comfortable with saying 8.7. I'm comfortable with saying that this was one of the better movies of this year, but then it's also not saying a lot at the same time because the movies of this year fucking sucked, right? But I think a lot of hard work went into this movie. Very talented actors. The plot and the screenwrite was on point. Story was on point. Everything was on point. I can only imagine the amount of work like CGI, everything that these guys do to dedicate their lives to this movie. Like I said, it gives you a surface level problems, and then it gives you very quick answers that take care of the issues. It's not meant to be a deep movie. This is a franchise movie. It's meant to be up there with your Jurassic Parks and your Star Wars, Hunger Games films. Like that you will know the name, even if you see a character and you don't know the name of that character. You know Avatar, Harry Potter, your Titanics, your huge, huge, huge films, right? They're not meant to like be masterpiece works of arts, maybe visually, but not like storytelling wise. It's not meant to compel you to feel emotion and cry. They try to provoke emotion, and it worked. It has its places where it works. Um, yeah, pretty much no comedy in the movie, not that I could see. Um, so this movie was very serious. Um, try not to give away too much of the plot and stuff. I know I've said a lot, but I mean, yeah. So I'm set on 8.7. I say it's worth a watch. It's a great family movie if you want to go watch it with your family. Um, I mean, yeah, that's about it. So yeah, so next time.